It's funny sometimes how we seem to be hooked to all kinds of media. We want some kind of music or sound going on in the background, whatever it is we're doing. And we're not satisfied with looking at just one screen. We want the TV open while we're working on our computer and as we browse through our mobile phones every now and then. We love to be entertained. No, we demand to be entertained. We want to fill our days with all kinds of media input from the moment we wake up until just about before we fall asleep at night. We can't seem to stand silence. The problem is, how we view the world is largely shaped by what we allow our minds to consume. And most of that comes from media. Our judgment, our opinions, and perspectives, our beliefs are strongly influenced, for better or for worse, by the kinds of media messages we expose ourselves to. The Apostle Paul, however, warns us about being influenced by all of these messages from various media we're exposing ourselves to every day. He said, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." Paul is saying here that we must not allow ourselves to be squeezed into shape by the present world. The messages we are exposed to should not dictate how we should think, what we should think about, how we must behave or not behave in this world. We must be aware that this present world has set itself against God. Much of what we get in media asserts its will against the will of God. So, instead of being influenced by media, we are to be transformed by the renewal of our minds by the power of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Kailangan mas nakatuon ang ating mga isip sa sinasabi ng Diyos sa Kanyang salita. Instead of being passive receivers of media messages, we must set the pace ourselves. We need to work out what kind of people we must be in light of the gospel. How we live our lives must not be based on what our surrounding culture tells us, with all its demands and expectations. Our lives must be based on what God's mercy has done for us. Ang mga buhay natin ay dapat mahubog ng biyaya ng salita ng Diyos. So be prudent about the kind of media we expose ourselves to. Mag-ingat tayo sa mga messages na nakikita, naririnig natin sa media. Be very selective of the TV programs, music, or social media posts that we consume. Be discerning about what is consistent with the will of God and whatever is set against it. Let our minds be transformed instead by the Word of God. As we learn to set ourselves free from the power of the media, and as we are transformed by the renewing of our minds according to God's will, keep in mind, faith matters